Are those duplexes separately owned now, or, I mean?
No, they're owned by Jeff and Pepper Rubber.
Okay, so these are just people that live there? or-
Yes.
Oh,
In the
oh.
house.
Yes, those are the tenants.
And this 520, is that the house in front?
Yes, it is the house as well.
And that's all owned by the same.
Yes.
Okay.
All three, the duplex and that house is owned by the same person.
Yes.
And these aren't construction, these are demolition.
These are rehab.
These are rehab.
Rehab.
How do they determine the maximum you get?
The grant maximum is $25,000 per unit. But with landlords that do not qualify income-wise, they have to pay 25% of that rehab cost. So a portion of these is going to be paid by the property owners. And then the balance will come from the grant.
25%?
25% of the rehab cost, yes.
So this 34,000, part of that's gotta come from
For the property owner, yes. We actually have actually 5 of the 6 are gonna have a match on them coming from the property owner. We just have one homeowner in this first batch.
the, is this gonna pretty well eat up on grant money?
No, we actually are supposed to do 15 rehabs, so this is just the first group. We had some that we inspected that didn't go forward for one reason or the other. We're getting ready to inspect the next group of homes. And I might just say, while I have the microphone, that the demolition should be completed by the end of the week. He's pretty much done with that. So if you've had a chance to watch him do some demolition, I guess it's been interesting to see those houses come down.
I just like to say, I think this is wonderful that we're getting this much revitalization in our community. I think it's a good deal. So,
Yeah, it is nice, you know, with the storm damage we had last fall, unfortunately. Been a lot of homes really fixed up around town. The community looks nice.
So basically what the housing board tonight is recommending the first award bid. Should someone there not accept that, then we have the second already in place and we can go right to them and to issue the contract. But that's what we just need approval.
So we can just ask for a bid to accept this as presented with. So been moved by Councilman Miller that we accept the housing bid for rehabilitation on the CDBG. We have a second by Councilman Odd. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Carol, thank you.
Thank you.
Great project.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you've got any more questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
Any questions at this time?
Thanks for your work.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next on the agenda is the asphalt bid from Vance Brothers for the amount of $35,889.60.
So move, we accept that bid.
Been moved by Councilman Peterson that we accept the bid from Vance Brothers for $35,889. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Richard. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next is the health insurance for the city employees. In the amount of $715,000 from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's also recommended that the council maintain the employer rate at 85% and employee contribution at 15%. Clint?
Just to address that for a second, is the way we do this, you remember, you have the sheet in front of you that's included in the packet here. There are 2 different plans. We offer the full, sort of your standard benefit, and that's the 85-15. Below that, you see the high deductible plan. The way way they split it up this year, they actually increased our deductible. 3,000, 6,000, used to be 2,500, 5,000 last year, but under the new rules from the IRS, they increased that to 30 and 6 there, so it's a little bit of an increase. But you can see the numbers match up as far as the contribution from the city, and under this plan, we can do 100% for the high deductible for the employees that choose to take that. The downside is that deductible, so there's a little bit of risk for you, but the numbers almost match up. So you're per dollar, your contribution to one really covers 100%. So 85% is just for the other, it's called the regular program versus the high deductible. So that's the only difference. So we have someone choose going over the deductible.
Is that the way it's always been?
No, I think we covered like 95.5 on the high deductible. But the way this is falling, the way it matches up, the overall cost is basically staying the same. It's what they're projecting. Whereas actually like a increase or something like that, the negative thing.
This policy meets all the ACA requirements?
Yeah, I mean, so the plans that they offer us do meet all the requirements for IRS rules and whatever law they've come up with in the past few years on this. So looking at this dollar per dollar, you can offer two plans, one at the 85 and one at the 100%.
It is the employee's choice.
It's their choice, they can do either one, but our contribution remains pretty much the same.
You have many that take the high deductible.
More now than used to. When we first presented, a lot of people first didn't understand that because the deductible is the tough thing on there. Before it was 2,500, now it's 3,000. So if you got that, and the idea is you put that, you store that in your health savings account, which offsets your deductible. So once you reach that, you're pretty good shape. But until then, you got some exposure. So a lot of people were uncomfortable with that. But once you get your 3,000 in the bank, you're pretty good shape because we're covered under this plan 100% of that.
So if you got to where,
That's actually 3,000 for the employee.
6,000 for your
family.
Right, yeah.
So
it's
a family is gonna have to come up with
$6,000, right. See, that's why initially a lot of people didn't take it, but it's tax-free savings. When you do the health savings account, it just works like an IRA.
and most of them satisfy the way we're doing it now.
Yes, yeah.
Since they
like I
found
said.
the option of.
Right, and more people have moved to this because they're saving, and you can use this, you can carry this as yours. Once you save that, it's yours, not the city's anymore. That's your money into that health savings account. So a lot of people have said, well, that's tax-free money saved.
And they accrue that as just.
Yes, yeah.
So
And you can accrue
one
it
of them,
till-
you have to spend it every year.
No, it's not like, that's not like that's a different type of program.
That's offered.
Yeah, you can accrue it until you retire, and then some people buy whatever they're buying at that point. And so, yeah, you can save it really for the rest of your life, and you can spend it. I think after 65, you can really spend anything you want. You don't have to be healthcare. So once you kind of get into that, it's a pretty good deal. But the first couple of years is going to be rough when you have 3,000, 6,000.
Any of us counseling get on that?
No. No, they're not eligible. We've actually asked them that, and they said, no, you can't do it. You cannot do it. So unfortunately, yeah, it's a good deal for us. So anyways, you have two options. One has a little bit of a risk, the other one is more of a traditional program. So that's, the good thing is it didn't go up really.
Well, you said it went up a small
I mean,
amount.
that's like less than.
But that was budgeted in.
We anticipate actually go more, which we're going to talk about going forward because we'll have to talk about the tax lid thing and how that's going to affect the budget going forward in the next couple of years. Because I can't promise we're going to get this every year as far as healthcare goes, because there's too many unknowns. So how do you budget for that with the tax lid?
We need to let the employees know so that when it
Yeah,
happens.
that's going to become a real problem for 2 years, but we'll talk about that later on. But as it is right now, the good news is we have two plans. They're both under what we budgeted, and like I said, dollar for dollar, you can actually get one that's 100% right now if you're comfortable with that deductible. Yes. So that's what they presented to us this year, and that's pretty much what we had last year too. It's just that we're 100% rather than 95%. Any more questions about that? I know we love talking about healthcare. I'm sure.
Well, this is not going up like.
No, it is, yeah. We've experienced that in the past, as many other people have, so.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the health insurance policy as presented.
It's been moved by Councilman Audrey that we accept the health insurance as presented for Blue Cross and Blue Shield for $715,000, and seconded by Councilman Brown. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda this evening is the comprehensive plan and the changes that the council wants to make
Oh, sure.
to the plan.
I have a question. I'm wondering why is it on this part of the agenda instead of in the work session?
She's gonna answer that.
First of all, on your agenda, cross out where it says the planning commission is recommending that you approve ordinance 2165. That's old, that's from last week. We're not approving any ordinance tonight. By statute, the council can, it's a may, you don't have to do this. You can make a statement, return a statement to the planning commission for your reasons for failing to approve the comprehensive plan. So my thought is, if you want to have a discussion amongst yourselves of why, obviously those that voted against, why you voted against, and then we'll put together a short summary and send that to the planning commission, and then they can discuss it next week. And they have the opportunity to make changes to the plan if they want, or they can send it back to you the way it was. Either way, when it comes back to you, it can be adopted by a simple majority. You can make changes at that point once we go through this process. When it comes to you on the 21st, you can either adopt it as written, you can start marking through it, adopt it that way, or you can do nothing, and we just won't have a comprehensive plan. So that's why this is on formal action, because you do kind of need to collectively come up with a statement to send to the planning commission.
But we don't need to vote on it.
I guess it depends on what all you, I mean, something collective from the council would be nice. You know, I don't really want to have a different statements, but
Sure.
no, you don't necessarily. I mean, I think I kind of know where everybody stands.
You don't have to
We need
vote on it, we just have to send a statement.
If you want, and you don't have to, you can vote for we're not doing this too. It's a may, you don't have to tell them anything.
But we can't vote tonight. If we want to throw something out, we can't go ahead and vote and approve it.
No, but you can talk and give your reasons for why you didn't approve it, and then that will go back to them, and that'll give them the opportunity then to take that out or amend it if they want.
I make the suggestion that we just go around and everybody can say what they think, and then once we hear what everybody says, we can go from there.
And I'm just gonna take some notes when you're done, and then I'll put something together in the next couple of days, and that will go to the planning commission.
I think that'd be fair.
So, you guys can.
Matt, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. Being that I voted in favor of it, I would defer any changes to the people who voted no. So, and I'll support whatever people say they want to take out. That's what I think.
Kent?
I voted in favor of the way it stood, and I'm still going to stand by it.
Okay.
Because there was a vote of 4-1. The planning commission spent a lot of time, a lot of effort on this program, and I think we should go by their recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Brown?
I voted against it, and I think the only change that I can find is the 3 mile field needs to be thrown out because of all the heartaches and everything it's caused. And it's gonna still cause if it stays in there. Throw it out and move on. I have nothing against the rest of the plan, just throw that part out.
Okay, thank you. Bob?
I would change that.
Okay. Tony?
I have issues with the 3 mile extraterritorial jurisdiction. Honestly, in the real world, unfortunately, the right individual, corporation, whatever, I mean, they have to come in to get an approval to put something in. In the real world, the right guy gets whatever they want anyway. Now, that's not, maybe not right or fair, but that is the way, it's the way a lot of things work. See, keeping it, we've upset a lot of good, hard-working people. And I don't know that we protected the city's interests a whole lot.
Thank you, Tony. Bob?
Well, about the same thing as these two guys, 3 mile. I would like to see it reduced a little bit. Back towards the city limits.
Half mile, mile?
Oh, a mile and a half,
Or
something like that, or.
okay. Anything else, Bob?
I don't know. The plan's fine.
Okay.
We need it. We need it bad.
Okay, thank you. Lloyd?
I'm going to agree with the other two. I like the plan. I don't like all there is about the extraterritorial area. I think it needs to be either eliminated or reduced. It can be reduced considerably and still be feasible. And my idea was to go from the edges of town, north, south, east, and west, and go one additional mile each direction. And that leaves a square box, and it's easier to keep track of what's in and what's out because you don't have all these loops in it. And there's lines already there, there's roads, the roads are marked, so that there's no question about what's in and what's out. Personally,
That's in, I mean, you're asking like 24 on the east end of town, we're trying north-south, go a mile east of
whatever the
24
next
highway.
whatever the next full mile is after that to the mile road.
Or here again, we're,
All directions. Well, not northeast, but north, south, east, and west. Make it a box.
Pete, are you still willing to accept 2 miles?
Well, yeah, I'd do it that way. If the plan commission does it.
Well, they tried that already. They brought it up, and hell no, they wanted to all go 3, and that was it.
This is a different thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back to us just like it is, I'll guarantee you that.
Well, you know, I can understand why the people don't want 3 miles. I think that's getting out there quite a ways. I mean, in certain areas, if you go 3 miles, you're in the floodplain, the whole plain. And yeah, there's flood insurance, but it's not a real good plan to develop, I think, in those. You know, 2 miles is still getting out there quite a ways. And, you know, I don't know if we could ever even get a mile shoved through. But, my compromise would be a mile or a half mile. And, you know, half-mile rakes it in pretty good. I don't know how hard that'd be to set that up, but I think they're, you know, we was jumping out there quite a ways. And needless to say, there is a lot of opposition to that, and they've voiced their opinion, which is what's nice to hear. I mean, that's why we have open meetings. But anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe we can bring it down to a mile or a half mile, and then if it's a half mile, 10 years from now, if we've pushed out to the half mile, we'll go back and do maybe another half mile. I don't know what's a mile. It's just
we have that capability, I mean,
You can always amend it.
we can do that if,
You don't have to wait 10 years.
correct, but I mean,
But just-
oh my gosh, we missed the ball terribly. Everybody was all wrong. We can go back and
Matt.
be good.
Just as a suggestion, we have a few people here, I think they're probably from that 3 mile group. I wonder if we can maybe get some comment, see if they like what they just heard.
That's fine. Greg or anybody?
Sure, I'll make a comment.
Can
You don't
come
have
up to the podium
Sure.
if you were kind of dragging. I'm really dragging. I'm deaf, so.
The big thing I'm hearing right now is say, okay, cut it down to a half mile, a mile. You don't have to say a half mile, you don't have to say a mile. You can do it as needed. When something comes up where someone's gonna need an area zone, then you can amend the plan, as Katie said. Figure out what area does need zone. Then I think all your opposition is gonna go away. If people can see that, okay, someone wants to build 20 homes out here. They need a little bit of a buffer, a little zoning area. You can amend the plan and do it that way, rather than just drawing a circle or, you know, like you said, half mile, mile. Because right now, my question would be, what is it that needs zoned out there right now?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What would that process do to let's say a developer comes to town, wants to make a development, engages with people, and is wanting to do it, has to go through the zoning process as a member of the planning commission. How much time is that gonna add to have to go through a reworking of the city plan to address as needed? Is that gonna, how much extra time is that gonna add into a development?
I can't say an exact time, Matt, but I will tell you this. Developers, big-time developers all over the country, the time that they're used to going through to get through red tape in other cities, towns around the country, ours would be minute. Okay, I mean, I can't even, when I was in California to put an addition on my house, I had to wait 120 days for a permit.
Where do you live in
Okay.
California?
Down by Riverside, Temecula area.
I guess,
Well, I was down by Oceanside.
Okay, we were north, east of there.
Didn't have to wait that long there when I helped the builder build the house.
How long ago was that?
How
long? I'm not.
My guess.
Okay, I'm telling you,
Talk.
I can't guarantee how long it would take. Look how long this process
My
took.
counterpoint to that is we don't have a whole lot of California developers coming out to Boyd, Kansas to engage in our process. So we were talking about local developers that are,
Okay.
you know, I mean, you're adding, I think, I mean, I can be correct, you're adding a significant amount of time to developers' process.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not sure it would be that significant. If people can see, the big opposition here is, and I've stated this before.
This plan has taken us a year to get to this point. We're still.
I know, and I'll tell you, the people that you hired to do it, you ought to have fired. I can tell you that right now, and you can put that on record. And there's a lot of people on the planning commission that will agree with that, because that thing was just a mess. And what I'm saying is, and I can't guarantee it.
Well,
I mean, you're asking me a question that I really can't
I'm asking
answer.
about the process you would have us set up. The process you would have us set
Here's
up.
how I would set it up, okay?
But how is it set up now?
Well, how it's set up now is you have to go through the thing to amend the plan. Okay, it would have to come to the planning commission.
As it's set up now, we don't have zoning out there, so
Right.
there's no process whatsoever.
So then, my question, I'll throw this back to Katie. So if it all comes back and we don't have the outside zoning, then we have to redo our planning commission, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes, and
so
I
You're
just-
talking about doing the same thing either way, just leave it 3 mile out. It's always there. State statute says it's, I'm sorry.
I just want to, I guess, the reverse of, Mr. Jones is arguing if someone wants zoning, they come and request it. But if you don't have it there, then someone can come put anything in that area if you don't have the zoning. So if they don't want it, they're not going to come ask for it. They're just going to build their tower or their whatever. So you have to look at the other side of the argument too. Yes, if someone wants zoning or rezone, yes, they can go through the process, and that's very easy and very
So then,
quick.
by going with what Greg's saying, we would not be protected as the citizens of Beloit for anything to go in up here if we don't have the zoning.
That's correct, yeah.
I mean,
So, in other words, you have to go ahead and zone it all, because the 3 mile jurisdiction in this doesn't give you that.
I want to know, Greg, one valid hardship this is going to put on anybody in this crowd. One valid hardship. You don't have to wait to build a house. You don't need a permit. What is your?
You start zoning, I can tell you a lot of hardships.
Zoning has nothing to do with.
The zoning
You're
is
not-
everything in this.
No,
You just
no, no.
stated that.
You are not bound by any city ordinance.
That's right, I'm not.
The city can't tell you anything to do. So what is the problem?
Until you start zoning it.
No.
Until you start zoning it.
What?
This is what scared everybody, okay? The 3 mile jurisdiction doesn't stop any businesses from coming in. What stops is when you start zoning, okay? I've seen zoning go crazy. I mean, I came from a town that went from 1,500 people to 60,000 people in 10 years. I know what crazy zoning can be.
Yeah, but that's California.
Well, you know what? This is a much smaller scale, but it all started this way.
Nothing gets rezoned until it's requested. You're sitting out there, nobody's gonna come out. and
Well, you're
rezone.
saying you need this to protect you.
If
You're
somebody comes
saying you
in and
need
wants
this to
to
protect you. You
put a
can't protect it
business,
without zoning, or you want to zone.
zoning ain't gonna stop anything.
Then why are you fighting this?
Why are you fighting?
Because I don't want it.
You don't have one valid.
Because I don't want you to be able to tell
You
me.
don't want it.
We're not good captains.
Greg,
If he's
Greg,
zoning,
I'm gonna ask
no.
you a question. Do you want a Lion's Den or a Secretary winning business within a mile to 3 miles within the city limits of the lake?
You really think that's gonna happen, Tim?
Happened that way.
Look what happened in our.
Look at Abilene's on the interstate in a much bigger town.
Look what
I
happened
tell
in
you what,
our.
Do you, I'm just asking.
There's
is
a
that
lot of,
something
you know what, Kent? Okay, when my mom passed away and I sold, do you want my answer or
Yeah,
not?
I want your answer.
Well,
All I do is
let me give
yes
it
or
to you.
no.
I'm asking you. Okay, when my mom passed away and we sold her house, right next to mine, I had concerns, but I didn't rely on who moved in, what sort of thing moved in. I mean, on those few acres, they could have done anything. But you know what? That was my choice. If I wanted protection from that, I would have moved within the city. Okay? Someone could have put a junkyard in, they could have put a feedlot, well, they couldn't put, I mean, there's regulations on all that. But they could have put a lion's den in there, okay? That's my choice. And the biggest thing with this deal, and this is what I really feel, this is just a bad law. Anytime, and I can't change that right now, but we're working on it. But anytime that the people who own the land are in a minority of what can happen to it, and they're by a 3-2 on the planning commission, we're in a minority, yet it's our land that's affected. Okay? We're the ones directly affected, but we don't have as much say as you people in town.
Okay, 3-2.
Yes.
You still have to give me a
That's minority.
valid reason. Because then you don't want it. That's the only.
I just told you, Bob, because we don't want zoning out there.
I don't care if you want it. I want a valid negative impact to anybody in that 3 miles. of-
Zoning can have an outrageous
No,
impact.
no. I don't want to hear
What?
that. I want a
Well,
valid.
whether you want to hear it or not, it's fact. Okay? Fact is, we will have no vote on how that zoning goes. None whatsoever, other than 3-2 on the planning commission. Now, you can zone my place commercial, you can zone it however you want. Okay? I seen zoning in Riverside County that said you can only have 2.5 horses on an acre. Now, is that not the most ridiculous thing? How do you have 2.5 horses?
We're not going to do that.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're gonna do, Bob. Okay, I don't know what the person that's here 10 years from now is gonna do.
You know what I see
We never
here?
thought we'd see that in Riverside County, but we'll see it here, I guarantee
What I
it.
see here, Greg, is it doesn't matter what we say, you don't believe us. So it's going to be an impasse
Bob, I don't-
all the way. All the way.
Well, I don't think you guys are listening.
Yeah, I'm listening, but I've heard all this before, and it didn't make any sense then, it don't make
Well, it
any
doesn't make
now.
sense to me that with all this opposition, and show me the people that want it, other than the people on the council or a couple people on the
Well,
planning.
that's why we're here, just to make our own decisions.
No, you're here to represent the people, Bob.
The people of Beloit.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's time you start listening to those people.
Well,
Okay, thank you, Greg.
Okay. thanks.
Lloyd, you do have a question?
No, I just wanted to, thought this meeting needed to get back on schedule because this is not a public hearing.
Yeah, thank you.
Katie? I'll kind of summarize all the comments and send a letter to the planning commission, and then it's up to them if they want to make amendments. And then we'll be back on the 21st with a plan.
Okay,
Okay?
that sounds good.
Well, I
Okay.
just want to say, if I'm reading Pete right, we got 3 people that want 3 mile, and he'll go for 2 miles. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, we'll see what comes back from the planning.
Yeah.
I have a question just for clarification about the process. I'm on the planning commission.
Okay.
I just
You want to address it to
Sure.
Katie?
Katie,
Yes.
I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. The zoning has to be in place ahead of time. You can't retroactively, somebody comes in and then zone it. It has to be zoned before the action is taking place. There's a 60-day period, correct? So you can't, somebody comes in and wants to buy property, they buy the property. You can't zone it after the fact. You would have to have placed the zoning in place ahead of time,
Buy the
correct?
property outside the city limits?
Yes, if it's in the 3 mile.
I think he's
You-
what it says is correct.
You would have to have it zoned beforehand. You cannot zone it after the fact. If someone comes in and says, I want to buy something.
Before you build.
So in order for your protection to be in place, you have to zone the whole thing or nothing. Because if they come in after the fact, you don't have any power because they've already had the transaction. You cannot make a change afterward, correct?
Oh, well.
If it's not zoned at the time of the transaction, you can't go in and then change the zoning on it after the business is taking place.
We don't have zoning, and somebody comes in and puts a commercial business. In 10 years from now, we want to zone that. We can't go zone that residential because there's a commercial business sitting there, if that's what you're saying.
Right, the ETJ does not change.
But you can buy a tract of land, zoned agriculture, and change it to anything you want to.
Lloyd, you got a question?
If you go through the process.
Right now, there is no zoning, that's what I'm saying. The ETJ